All right, there we go. Let's get this party started here. Glad everybody is on. We got some things that we want to share. Some people that we want to have talk who are in the field getting stuff done. I want to share with each of you. I will share in our group. Um, Actually, let me start off with our group communication that we're going to start. If you're not familiar with Telegram, we want you to download Telegram. It's an app. It's a group messaging app. And there's a thousand of them out there. There's WhatsApp and there's a whole bunch of them. There's a one that we will start using in the future called Tiger Connect. We're not going to start using that right now. It's a HIPAA compliant. We don't need it right now. So don't be putting pictures and HIPAA violation stuff on this Telegram. This is just for our team, for announcements, for training. So Telegram, it's a blue circle, looks like a paper airplane. So download that. You don't need to download it right now, but as soon as you're downloaded, Josh, you already have it, and so does Andy. I've added you guys, so if you guys pull up your Telegram app, you'll see the MedPro Care group that I've added you to. So if everybody can, and so in that, I'm going to post United Solutions Wound Care has a new video. It's an 11-minute video of wound care awareness, and they're going to start producing some of these videos for us to be able to use when it comes to education. Josh and Kate set up a meeting today that we had, and one of the biggest things that the director hit on and liked was education and awareness. They're using 4 other wound care companies. None of them are doing education and awareness. They're doing treatment, but they love the fact that we can do go above and beyond, over promise and over deliver. So download the Telegram app, and I'll post United Solutions Wound Care website. They've updated their website with a lot of education, and then the video I'll post in there as well. So if you have any questions about the Telegram app, let me know, and I can help you navigate it. So I wanted actually 3 of you who are on right now. I wanted you guys to speak, and I'm glad we're recording this so we can make sure we get it out to everybody. So speak as if there's 100 people on here that you are training, and the reason why Vicky, Andy, and Josh are going to be talking is because you guys are setting up appointments. We're getting in meetings, and you're moving the needle forward. This isn't just something typically, it can happen, but typically there's going to be that relationship of trust that needs to be built. And it's not just automatic. It's not like you talk to a facility and they send you a patient tomorrow. That can happen, but it's more of the relationship building and building that trust, bringing the value. And that's exactly what Andy, Josh, and Vicky are doing. So Vicky is in Oklahoma, in Oklahoma City. We actually have a meeting tomorrow in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with a team of 10 doctors. So Vicky, I want you to talk about, so for those of you who are outside of Utah, this is exactly what you should be or could be doing right now, without having United Solutions Wound Care in your back pocket as a mobile provider, because they're only credentialed here in Utah as of right now. But Vicky, talk to us about what you're doing, what you've done, and what that's created, how you're doing this to start to reach out to some of these facilities.
Well, the first thing you need to do is absolutely talk to every friend, every family member, and any person that you come in contact with. Talk to them about wound care. Hey, this is what I'm doing. Because I promise you, everyone knows somebody that knows somebody. So my first thing is I reached out to someone that used to be in medical sales. She hooked me up with a friend of hers that used to be in wound care. And it just kind of starts the ball rolling. Not that anything has come to light as far as selling a graft yet, but this gentleman that Mark and Trent both have been able to be on a Zoom with, he started talking to me about going out and going to symposiums. going to doctors' events that they allow booths at those events. So the first thing I did was when I heard about a podiatrist symposium, it was literally the next week. I got on the phone. By the next morning, I paid my booth fee, got the information. About 70 doctors were on the list. I physically only talked to about 12 that stopped to the booth and actually stopped and were cordial enough to let them hear my spill. But it's during that time that the connection that I made with them through talking golf, talking beef, because they're asking questions how I got into it, and one thing leads to another. So when you become personable with them, then you've made that connection, and lo and behold, 5 of the ones that I met are in this group of 10, and they reached out immediately and said, "Hey, we'd like for you to come out and visit with us." So it's just about going out, and whether you know it all or not, my philosophy is a little bit of knowledge. I'm a little dangerous, but I fake it till I make it. So I'm able to have those conversations of just personal conversations. If they ask a question that I don't know, the first thing I say is, "Hey, that's a great question. I'm new to this, and I'll get you the answer before the day ends." And sure enough, I reached out to Mark and Trent and got some answers, and saw them at the next break from meetings, and went up and approached them, told them, "Hey, this is the information I have for you." I have yesterday on the golf course, I'm watching a player and started up a conversation with someone next to me that is going to lead to a connection in Norman, that they want me to contact their wound care facility in Norman. So it's just basically, you got to talk about it. If you're not talking about it, then those connections are not going to come. I mean, literally, I talk about wound care at least 5 times a day. Everybody that I come in contact with, I'm asking them, "Hey, do you know what I'm doing? Do you have a connection?" And it's just kind of gone from there. And I really think this meeting in Tulsa, because I do know that every one of those 5 doctors that I've met out of this group of 10, they're all dissatisfied with the current representative and the patch that they're using. So, it's really up to Mark and Tom tomorrow to seal this deal for us.
Yeah.
No pressure, Mark.
Hey, we got this. So Tom, our representative with Extremity Care, is flying out as well. And so really, Vicky has coordinated this all, but she doesn't have all the information. I've got more information, just more experience than Vicky does, but Tom's been doing this for years. So we're getting all the heads together. Wouldn't have happened without Vicky. Wouldn't have happened without us supporting Vicky, and it wouldn't be as good as it could have been without Tom. So we're all coming together to support each other and to make it happen on Thursday in Tulsa. So you imagine a group of 10 podiatrists, foot and ankle doctors that see wounds daily, and this all came from Vicky taking initiative, getting the booth. I could show you a picture. She got the tablecloth all made up, the MedPro Care. She had everything all set up, all the brochures, all the flyers. Like it was. I mean, she's in business. So great job, Vicky. Any questions for Vicky on because we're going to do a senior expo here in St. George here in a couple weeks. And so I would highly recommend to start that momentum wherever you're at. Any questions for Vicky? Thank you, Vicky. Appreciate that. Great job, and excited to see you tomorrow. Josh and his co-partner, Cade. Cade had another Zoom. He's going to hop on late if he's able to get on. But Josh and Kate have been talking about it. They've got actually quite a few connections already in the medical and the wound care specific space. And we've had several meetings. Josh, talk to us, man, about what you're saying, like how it's going, and what you and Kate have been doing.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. So for me, I luckily I got into the wound care space about 2 years ago. It was all new to me. I came from the restaurant business. I've been in the restaurant business pretty much my whole life, and the volleyball world my whole life. And I wanted to try something new. I applied for this position, and I had no experience in marketing wound care, but the guy that hired me liked my references and my background, so he decided to give me a shot. And for me, going in, like after our meeting today, I talked to Mark and Trent, and Trent asked me like, how long did it take you to get your first referral? And I said I started in January of that year, and it took me almost the ending of March, beginning of April to get my first referral. And since we joined the team, that was been my whole thing from day one. Is just what Vicky was alluding to was, communication and going in and just being present. For me, it was just building that relationship, like we all touched on. And don't be that pushy card sales guy, because we're a dime a dozen when it comes to people walking through the facility doors, the doctor's doors, the home health doors. That's all they see, and they don't want another person in there trying to get a referral, right? So for me, it was about building relationships. I could care if I got the referral or not. I would rather build a good relationship that would last beyond what happened. Once I left that position, I still have the friendships that I made, and now I can come back to those relationships and be like, hey, I'm back, and so. Like, sharing them TV all the time, because I told them, like, a lot of the places, they know me as Cookie Josh, right? Like, I used to bring cookies all the time.
This is the cookie guy that we talked about. This is the cookie guy.
So getting in the door was the hardest part. Once you got in the door, now it's building relationships. Let them know what you do. But like I said, I would rather get to know them, get to know their family. Like today, I don't know, who caught what Tracy said on the meeting today, but her thing, she said was education was one. Right? That's one of her pain points was education, right? So understand what the pain points are for these home health, what the pain points are for these facilities, these SNFs, these rehabs, these senior living communities. What is their pain point? So hers was education was one, and her second one was, she said, we don't want to do wound care, right? That was her second one. We don't want to do wound care. We want to give it to someone. So she had 4 companies, right? None of them were doing education, right? So there we are. Now we're going to be doing the education part, and that's going to give us that personal touch, right? The other thing, I talked to Mark them after, they're like, I don't know about Vicky, or any other state, but for us, we're lucky enough where all the home health are within 10, 20 minutes of each other. All the facilities are within 10, 20 minutes of each other. So my personal thing that I created when I was at the other company was, as soon as I got the wound care notes, I would hand deliver it to the DON or the administration, just so they knew exactly what was going on. But not only that, I was back in their office, and if there was any issue that I could squash it right there. Or most of the time what would happen was I would walk in with the wound notes, and they'd be like, hey, John, I'm so glad you came. Here's another referral, right? So it took me a while to build up to that point, but it was education. I educated them on how I was going to approach it. I said, I'll be here. You call me, you have a referral, I'll be here in 10 to 20 minutes. I'll be there within an hour. Most of the times I was there within 15 to 20 minutes, right? Because everything for us is so close. The second thing I know,
You also said that, Josh.
right? Yes.
That was her pain point was, when is she going to get the notes? How is she going to get them?
Exactly.
Is it going to be efficient? I mean, so that was another pain point that we saw today when we were both on there.
Yeah. And then the second one, Mark, Andy, you guys were on. What did you notice about Tracy's office?
There was a whole bunch of stuff behind her, all the shelves.
So she's a diehard Star Wars fan. When I finally got past the gatekeeper, who let me in finally after a month probably, got past the gatekeeper, right? Then I got to Tracy, who's the DON. Finally got in there. I was like, oh, you're a Star Wars fan, right? I found something that really we couldn't relate to, because I was honest with her. I said I'd never even watched Star Wars, and most people will disown me, but I just never watched Star Wars, right? But I knew I was going to Disneyland that 2 months later, and I went and got her a little figurine from Disneyland, and that was the end of it, right? Like, now we're like friends. She loves me, but it was just the little things, like I talk about the plus one, like just go above and beyond. You know, look for the little things when you walk into a doctor's office or you walk into the DON or wherever it may be, administration, even the gatekeeper. Find something that you can relate to, and look for me. I've always looked for sports. If I can find something that's sports related, I know I can handle it, right? We can talk, we can start a conversation. Food, all day. I can talk food all day, right? Andy knows, Nick, Mark knows, Trent knows, Kate knows, right? Like, we can talk food all day. So just find things that are in common, build a relationship, and the referral will come, right? Like, don't worry about the money. The money will come. We talked about that from day one. Like, if we base this off of making $1, it's not gonna work. You're gonna be a pushy car salesman, and they don't want that, especially in the medical field. Like, they don't want that, right? So if we can come in and build a relationship, like Kate, me and Kate didn't want to let me in. Right, Kate? Like, we be honest, Kate, I had to get through his gatekeepers, finally got to Kate, right? And then now it's like, I know Kate's family, Kate knows my family, we go to football game, right?
Actually, the craziest part is, Josh, is I even said, don't let him back here.
Yeah, that's what then he, right? And now, but I was consistent, but I wasn't pushing. I'm like, hey, let's go to lunch, let's just talk. Let's just talk sports, let's talk life, let's talk this, right? And that's just kind of how I approached it, because
It was the Dr. Pepper, let's be honest.
it was the swing. I got him with the swing. But that's just my feedback.
Awesome. Love it, Josh. For those who haven't met Cade, this is Cade, who is piping in there. They are two partners in crime. As we have met, they are two peas in a pod, in the sense of they just click. They click well together. Cade, what was it for you as Josh was getting in with, because Cade owns a couple different facilities and organizations, and Josh was trying to get in his organizations, a couple years ago. Cade, what was it for you that really struck it off and let Josh in?
So honestly, like, before I even met Josh, all the girls, would, oh, hot Josh, so walking around, I'm in different home health and hospice, or, oh, the hot Josh with the tattoos. I'm like, who the heck is this guy? And then knowing now it's Josh, I'm like, oh, okay, so I see. And then he kept coming over, and it's like, you're just persistent. And then finally when we started talking, it was just more like, dude, I swear he's a brother. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. But I mean, we've been inseparable since then. Like, it's just one of those things. He found the things I liked. I mean, and he's to the point where he was honest about it. Like, hey, tell me what your favorite food. Tell me what you like to do. Do you know I cook? I can make those things. And I mean, it's just, he wasn't afraid to ask what I liked. And so it just started one thing after another. And next thing you know, he was showing up every time he said he would. I was showing up every time I said I would. And it just evolved to what it is now.
Love it. Fantastic. Cade, any other tips that as you've been setting up some of these meetings like the one that we had today, we've got another one that we're going to follow up with, another home healthcare and hospice company. This will be the third time that we will meet with them, with Horizon, here coming up. What are some things that you're saying to set some of these appointments up, or because it's not just what you're saying, but it's the relationship that you've built over time. Naturally, if I walk into a facility, I'm not going to have the same relationship you are having. But what can we do as a company on top of anything in addition to what Josh said that you have done or that you like to see to help build those connections?
Honestly, if you go in and you're just honest with them and you tell them, no matter what, we're going to show up, this is how we're going to do it, and we're going to do it good every time. But that means we gotta do that. We can't lie about it. I mean, so don't be afraid to ask. Like, they want what's best for the patient at the end of the day. And if we can show them that we are what's best for the patient, they're going to pick us every time. But you're usually going to trust someone you know before picking someone you don't. So just go in, get to know them, and really that's where it comes from. It's just all the little experiences that you normally wouldn't have. So just pick their brain.
Love
That's
it.
really all it is.
Love it. I appreciate that, Cade. Well, you also, Cade, you hit on a month or so ago, a couple months ago, me and you and Trent had a conversation. So Cade runs one of his organizations that he runs. He has 150 medical assistants that go into elderly homes and help them, with their day-to-day stuff. And Cade, as an owner of an organization like that, you were talking to us about what you do as the owner to help build those relationships and to make those connections with all of your medical assistants, and what your medical assistants that are going into the homes, what they do. What really struck me is, our motto is overpromise and overdeliver. And you do that, Cade, in your organizations already. What can we learn from as an organization, individuals that, Alex and Andy and Vicky, everybody takes ownership, because this is your organization. This is, each of you own your own book of business per se, or your own company within our company. We want you taking that ownership. You don't work for us. We work together. We're in this together. What are some things that you've done that maybe we can take away, Cade, how to build those relationships, what you've done within your organizations?
So really, it's just, when I say you overpromise but you overdeliver, like, the whole point is they know who I am. And they know no matter what I do, I'm going to bring the results just like I told them I would. So it's just, you got to get to that point where you can actually say, look at me, you know who I am, you know I'm going to deliver the results you want, and we're going to be more than happy. If the results you want, that's not enough for me. I want to do more. I always want to do more than they ask. So that's usually how it starts. It's just like that.
Love that. Fantastic.
And if my aides promise something, you're not letting me down. You're letting our client down. So they want to take accountability for that. And no one wants to let someone down, especially someone you're trying to take care of. You don't want to let mom and dad down.
Absolutely.
You obviously don't want to ever hear the word, hey, I'm not mad at you, I'm just a little disappointed. You don't ever want to hear that. So don't ever give them a reason to be disappointed in you.
Love that. Love that. Well, we are very fortunate and blessed to have you, Cade, and Josh in what you're bringing to the table to these patients and these organizations, because I'm 100% confident that you're going to change a lot of lives and help a lot of people get back on their feet and get back out in the communities. And so we appreciate you being on and in between all of your meetings and running your they both have businesses, separate businesses that they're running. We appreciate you being on here and sharing your knowledge and your experiences.
Well, it's our pleasure. We love being a part of it, and I really think we can help out a lot more people that just don't really understand what's going on. So
Yeah.
Let's get those promises in, and let's over-deliver it every time.
Absolutely. Andy, speak to us. Andy actually introduced us to Josh, who introduced us to Cade. And it's kind of funny that Trent and Josh several years ago used to be in another business together, and Trent was like, Josh, Trent, well, holy cow, this is like a reunited, like a family reunion. So, but through Andy, opening up his mouth. Andy, what are you saying? You've got some meetings coming up here in a couple weeks. I guess we got one on the 30th. We got one in November. We got some more coming up. What are you saying to reach out to these facilities? How are you getting in there? How are you getting these meetings set up?
So right off the bat, Vicky, sorry that BYU beat Oklahoma State last week. But anyway, I've been actually kind of thinking outside the box when it comes to actually this wound care. What groups or what facilities or who needs care? And so I started looking at the 55 and over communities, walking in, asking, the front desk lady, who takes care of your wound care, or who takes care of your medical needs when you have it with a patient. Most of the time they'll just give you that person's name and you go and talk to that person. You kind of explain, who you are and what we do, and we want to be able to, care for your patients, take care of your patients. What are you doing right now? How are you taking care of your patients? And then I kind of just let them talk. A lot of those communities, they want you to kind of do a presentation type event for them. One of the facilities I'm working with is a 55 and over community up in South Jordan, Utah, is that I'm showing up and doing a bingo event. We're supplying prizes and, candy or stuff like that for those winners. And then, in the meantime, as we're really talking about wound care and talking about what they need, there's a 55 and over, community down in St. George that has like 3,000 homes. Going and just contacting those people and letting them know, hey, we can come to your house. It's all about the education of, hey, we can come to your house and serve you. So I've been kind of thinking outside the box of who needs it. The assisted living space is a huge opportunity, and Kate and Josh are doing a great job with that. So I reached out to Switch Point, which is a homeless shelter. I was talking to Mark about it, and he sent a text out saying if he knew of anybody that was, any contacts at Switch Point. And so I contacted Switch Point and set up an appointment with them, and they were actually very interested. They even asked if it was just, are we working with just homeless people, or are you working with all people with Medicare? And so it's really just, it's like what Vicki said. You're just talking to them and you're just asking them questions and, asking them who they can help. I was talking to a family member up here in Salt Lake this week, and my brother said, yeah, my wife's dad has got wounds on his leg. So I talked to her last night, and she's gonna find out and have him take some pictures and send it to me. But it's all about communication. It's all about building that relationship of trust and just talking to everybody that you know.
Love that.
So
man.
it's, and I'm fortunate enough to, I have connections in the assisted living space, more up here in Salt Lake. And so it's, getting out there, it's all about the care. It's all about helping the people. And I like what Josh had to say, and also Cade, how Josh got to know Cade. Not only are we giving education about our care, but it's also learning about their practice and how you can add value to their practice, and also getting educated on their employees there. I've always tried to find out when there's a birthday or, outside of the work environment of what they like to do. So, like Cade and Josh, it's like building that relationship of trust. And then, it's going to take over and over and over again to go back. But, it's all about being consistent. And other places, I've jumped on Facebook. I've typed in Medicare groups or, other avenues of how to be able to find business out there.
Love that. Absolutely love that. It's I hope this has brought a lot of value for everybody, and from our teammates who are out in the field actually, mixing it up, making it happen, learning. They're calling us quite often. Hey, what about this? Or how does this work? Or Vicki was in the symposium. Hey, do we have the new updated ASP prices for the new products that are coming out October 1st? And so we got it and we sent it to her, and she went and printed it up and just taking that action, and just know that you've got the support behind you. So